Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning market review and trade level setup for Quantum Leap for November the 7th, 2013. I want to thank all the people that are visiting from Twitter, or if you're watching on video. This is Quantum Leap. We are a self-organized learning environment. We come together each morning. We have a private Skype room. If you want to check out the Skype room, you can send me a Skype request to Doug_McKay. I'll be the one from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Each morning we come together and go through our homework and analysis to determine what our trade levels are going to be. And then we have our chat that's open basically 24 hours if you want to come and check it out. But before we do any of that, we've got to get the disclaimer out of the way, so let's do that. This information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand their knowledge of the business of trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. You and only you are responsible for the trades or investment decisions made. Trading futures or any instrument involves the risk of loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to a financial situation. Only risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investors could lose more than their initial investment. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you might see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own plan, do your own due diligence and homework. Okay, so first thing we always do is we always like to go through and look at the macro to the micro. We've been keeping a homework sheet for many years now, and we like to see where we are within the numbers. Of course, we've got the new number that was put in, yet another Globex high, all-time high at 1774.50. By the way, those in the live room, I'm still running long from 1762.75. My last entry that I made yesterday, I've been holding it, and I've added on to it a couple times. But, you know, we've got an all-time high again at 1774. Globex open prior day 1757. We opened the RTH session yesterday at 1765, and we closed it at 1765.75 for another doji day. And again, we're going to have another open auction range. Look at this. I mean, open auction, open auction, open auction, open auction, open auction, open auction, open auction. I mean, we've just been, trending so strong and keep breaking out of range. We're back into this upward trend again after a couple down days. We're trending back up. Our VPOC has shifted higher again, so value was accepted yesterday at 1764.50. What did we talk about yesterday morning? Yesterday was all about holding value. If we could hold value, get up above and get back up to that 1764.50, which we'll look at on the composite, and we held that and held that value, that we'd see that 1773.25 and equalize the two highs. We got up to 70 in the RTH, and then they did it, and as I mentioned in the live room, they're likely, and why I said I was going to hold that, is they're likely to take out that 1773.25 in the Globex. And that's exactly what they did, and made a new high. So no other numbers really jump out, in terms of the key numbers. Full session high and low 1774.50, 1761.75 gives us a ATR target for the full session, up at 1779.33. So right at that 70.80, which has been that measured move that we've been watching. And then the full session low 1756.93, right back down towards that CLVN and the range low from Monday. News, of course, we just had. And had a spike on the GDP and the unemployment claims. We had a couple little moves, but we're basically back to where we started. Let's look at the macro to the micro in terms of trends, see where we are. Of course, the big trend is the trend that we've got going on the monthly. Good slope and separation on the 9 EMA and 20 SMA. We're trading right at the high of the prior month, and this trend is extremely strong. On the weekly, same thing. good slope and separation. Got a bit of a technical gap right here against the 9. Close of that tech gap is going to probably bring us down to about the 1728 level by the time we get there, if we close it. Now, of course, we can close through time, and the 9 EMA can come up and catch up. On the daily, we had that nice parabolic move, the little tech gap there, came down, closed the tech gap, and then we've been riding the 9 EMA up, and we've gone parabolic again and went up and made that 1774.50 all-time high. Going over to the geometric charts, the long-term upward sloping fork, the modified shift upward fork, we're above both the center lines of those forks. I've been talking about that we're likely to go up and test the upper line of the longer term fork. Well, that takes us up into that 1783.75, or right into the 1780 measured move. I had added the downward sloping fork a few days ago off of this high right here. We've broken out of it right now. We likely will come down and test. We still have this energy point that it created down here at 1764 area, and we're likely to drift off and come down here. If even if we go up and spike, we still have time to come down and test this energy point. Of course, the big energy point that now has to be in our sights is that one up here between the modified shift and the longer term upward sloping fork up here at the 1809, 1808 area, and that's scheduled to hit us sometime in the new year. All right, let's just take a quick look at where we are in the smaller time frame. In the smaller time frame, we were consolidating on the 4-hour. We've now spiked up. We're getting good slope and separation after having a really strong trend on the 4-hour. We came down and consolidated. Now we're back above the 9 and the 20, and we're bouncing up and making a parabolic move. On the 30-minute, now we've created the possible foobar Mr. Sneaky. Okay, you've got. We'll take a look at this on the Globex chart. It's actually better to look at. But we created a pretty big tech gap. Tech gap brings us back into that 1767.50 area. 38.2 retracement from the overnight low, 1769, 1770 area, which is the high. Would be a test of the range high from yesterday's RTH session, and down here 68.1 or 61.8, a little bit of a dyslexia there, 1766.50, and that's been that key level that we've been watching the last couple of days. So let's take a look at where we are on the Globex. Now we've had all these doji days, and we've gone up. Oh, look at, we're testing the 38.2 now, coming and testing the range high. So 8:54. We still have a half hour. We're going to, be probably trading just above yesterday's range. I mean, man, that's been the picture all along. But we're in new territory. We have no long-term composite, no intermediate microcomposite to guide us above. So we really have to look at those measured moves. And the areas that I'm looking at is that 1780 and 1783.75 as upward targets. One is the ATR target. One is the test of the upper Andrews pitchfork. But my biggest hypothesis is that we go up and test that 74, try to take it out, maybe make another new high. Responsive sellers step in, bring us back down to test the prior day range. We have a very high probability that we're going to get stuck in the wick down here and possibly come down and just chop around in the upper distribution from yesterday and possibly come down and test the gap close. Again, we're got yet another gap close. We've got we're going to have gap today. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, we've been leaving gaps. I mean, to me, this is indicative of a blow-off top. Where the high is going to be, I think 1800 is area, and the rule of 10 at 1810 to go and take out that energy point is a possibility, but this is looking very exhaustive. At this point in time. So we've got to start thinking. I'm going to start working on building a swing short again, probably start today if they give us some downward movement. Currently, I'm still running long from 62.75 yesterday, though. So I'll probably end up short and long at the same time at one point in time. Key numbers to watch on the bigger time frame: 6750 CHVN, and then of course we've got that 6450. It was all about the value. We broke out of this value around 38.75, came up first 2 days on the smaller profile. We found value at 1750, launched from there, went and made the new high in the RTH 1770.50, tried to hold value around 64.50, couldn't hold value, fell out of value, came back down. Where did they come down? They come down to test the value that they last accepted, which is at 1750. Found value there, moved it up, held value at 1754.25, tried to go higher, came up almost to the 1764.50. Seller stepped in, which we'd be watching for, because that's where they stepped in before, and came back down. Held value again, almost got back down to the 1750, 2 ticks away from it, and then we launched again. Where did we go? We came up and held value here, and then once we held value, we went and made the new high. Always look to your areas where they found value before they launched and where they tried to hold value before they fell out of it. Because when they fall out of it, they're going to come down to those areas and test again. And we still have this naked microcomposite VPOC down here at 1738.75. Our current microcomposite VPOC is 1758.50. So if they can't continue this price discovery up, what's the most likely scenario? Come down to the 64.50, try to hold it. If they can't hold it, they'll come down to the 1758.50 area again. And if they can't hold that, then I think this time we'll see them move in a bigger retracement down to 1738.75. So let's go and take a look at the overnight. And put our numbers in. Of course, the big number is that 1774.50. That's our overnight high and our new all-time high. And the overnight low, 1761.75. And currently, and I don't think it's going to change, 1771.75 is our overnight VPOC. Okay, so taking a look at what we've got going on here. Obviously, the area that I'll be looking to do business again is 1770. I mean, we're going to open just outside of range. This has been a pattern over and over again, so I'll be looking for them to come down and test this level, see if the buyers step in to defend the range, and we go up and take out the overnight high. This is almost going to be very much like could play out almost identical to how yesterday played out, where you had initiative buyers coming in, went up, tried to make a new high. We did get up to the 70. Sellers stepped in, brought us back down, test the range high, took us down. Didn't quite get down to the naked VPOC at 1759.50. We missed it by 2 ticks. They've been doing that a lot lately. So if you're going to run your scales or trying to make an entry, keep in mind that they've been front running the key numbers by 2 ticks. Lately. So I would be, at least putting your scales and your entries at 3 ticks in front of key levels. I've been seeing a pattern of this over and over again. First area you got to watch for is the 1767.75. I would keep a good eye on the 68 just above as well, because that's our midpoint from last night. You can see we've got a double distribution from last night. So I think the 67, 75, 68 level is going to be a significant level, and I'm going to be watching that level right here. And then, of course, below that, we have the 1766.50, which is the value area high. It is also the 61.8 retracement. So I'd be looking for a possible test there. The other thing I meant to mention is the 50% of the significant breakout candle, which is this candle right here. We always look at a retest of the midpoint of a breakout candle. That's 68.25 as well. So that's right there at that midpoint from the Globex session, the LVN, and the also the LVN from yesterday. Of course, if we get inside below that, I'd be looking for a test of the range high, value area high, and the 68.1. And if we break into that, a move down into, this is a pretty, other than the move in the morning, we had a pretty balanced profile, and I'd be looking for a move down into the 64. And again, my main hypothesis is to come down inside of yesterday's range and chop around in the upper wick and possibly come down and take out the gap close. The gap close, of course, is going to be 1765.75. So it's right there at the the 68.1% retracement as well. And then, if we get deep inside of the value, you got to look for the 80% value area play, and that would bring us down to 62.50. That will be the other area that I'll be looking to do business. And then below that, take out the overnight high at 61.75. And, we've got to keep this, 58.50 on our watch as well. We've got a naked VPOC down here at 17.59. We've got two naked crosses that we didn't take out at 60.25 and 58.25. So I'll be using the range low as another area to do business as well. If we get through that, a move to come down to that 17.58, and this should actually come out of here. And then below that, we've got that 55.75. It was 56.25 yesterday, but it's 55.75 CLVN, and of course the gap close right there. So I'll be looking to do business down here. So main hypothesis is to come down, test the range high, find responsive buyers, go up and take out the overnight high and equalize the two highs. Remember, the RTH range high is 17. Whoops. Fix that. 1770.50. That's the all-time high in the RTH. We now put in a new high in the Globex at 1774.50. As I always talk about, they like to equalize those things out. So I'd be looking for initiative buyers to step in, go in, take out the overnight high, equalize the two highs, possibly push through a bit, maybe even to that 79 level, but then have responsive sellers stepping in and taking us back down inside of the prior day range, and then taking out our targets down here, testing the value area, and chopping around with a move down to close the gap and take out the naked VPOC. Secondary hypothesis is we come inside of the prior day range and we move through all these targets, test the value area low, break out of the upper value, okay, come down, take out the overnight low, test the range, and come back down into the 1758 area and chop around in the wicks here. And then the the third hypothesis is some type of revaluation of the market, and we just take off and blast off to new highs and test the 1800. Other than that, I don't think we're going to get much more downside movement other than this 1758.50. possibly move down to test the other side of balance at 1755.75. Remember, the full session ATR target is 1756.75. So we can, we do have enough ATR, average true range, to come down and test this level down here and test the other side of balance. But I think we'll likely get stuck somewhere in the range from yesterday between the value area low at 62 and the range high at 70. Taking a look at the Keltner channel, currently right now we're trading below the Keltner center line at 72. If we come down and test the Keltner lower channel, that brings us down to 1765.75, which is likely to close the gap and probably come down and take out that naked VPOC. If we go and test the upper line, that brings us up to 1778 and up towards that measured move at 1780 and our ATR target above at 1779.25. Currently we don't have real direction. We're going sideways right now on the Renko and creating a basing pattern. All right, take a quick look at gold. Yesterday we talked about holding that 1304 level. Otherwise we'd come down and test that 1300 and possibly come down to the 1292 area. We held all day yesterday around the microcomposite at 1315 with a move up to that 1318, which is the number we were looking at. With the news this morning, we fell out of this balance and we're coming down. I actually had this inside of there, but I'm going to take it out now that we've come down. And right now we're trading right at that 13.049. Nothing changes in terms of the levels. If we break through the 04, look for a test of the 1300 again, and the first target is the range high here at 1294.80 or 1295, 1292, and the big number 1284, which was the number we came down, 1284.90 that we came down before. And then if we break through that, the main target below is the 1268 area. If we hold 1300 and stay above this 1304, look for a rotation back to the microcomposite around 1315 and 1318 with the upward move up to 1324. There is an interesting pattern in the long-term gold that I'm looking at right now. We have a broadening, descending wedge with a symmetrical triangle that's playing out right now. We're currently inside of the symmetrical triangle. I think the breakout to the upside or the low side is going to be interesting. But a broadening descending wedge is generally a bullish pattern if we break above, and the upside target would be in the 1440 area. But you know what my target is above? It's that 1388 area, which was the key microcomposite above us. With the news, we currently had a big spike up and then spike down, and but we're still trading inside of this symmetrical triangle. So I know there are a lot of people are bearish on gold. We can still come down even into the 1268. Look at that level right there. A test of the lower line of the symmetrical triangle takes us right down to that key target below and microcomposite VPOC at the 1268 area. But I'm expecting gold to drift within this symmetrical triangle, break out of the upward line of the broadening descending wedge, and start making a move up back towards that 1388 and 1400 level. In terms of the euro, we talked about holding this value here around 135.11. I said if we couldn't hold value, the next destination down would be down here at 133.59. We came down to 133.59. We're holding there, and then with the news, we moved down to test the value area low down here at 130.291. I found buyers and have currently rotated back up, and we're trading in around this prior balance here at 131, 133.47 area. So, we're in this, distribution zone here. I'm expecting us to just chop around here. Keep an eye on the 133.38 CLVN. If we break below that, that's the middle distribution, of the this prior microcomposite area. We come back down into this area down here and chop around in this. You've got undetermined fair value at 133.16, 132.95, and 132.74. But I think now that we've made the move, we're going to be chopping around in this distribution around 133.37 and 134.20, and just find some consolidation and find value right here around this prior microcomposite VPOC. You can see that we've had quite a bit of balance there. 133.5, 133.53. 133.61. So we're back down into this balance area, and we're probably just going to chop around in this area. Upper target, you might look at 133.94, for a move up, but even testing the other side of balance. So that's what I'm looking at in the euro. And Howard, over to you.
Thank you, Doug. So looking at our ES daily chart, we had our last swing low on the 9th of October down to 1640, and we've had a very strong rally up till then. We had our prior high of the year at 1773.25, which was set during Globex, and we've had a consolidation. We came back, tested the 9 EMA 4 times, 5 times. And yesterday was the last time we touched it. And then over the Globex session, we stayed above it. And with the news this morning, we've set a new all-time high at 1774.50. So the last 2 highs, including one just set, have been set during Globex. So the 9 EMA, which was our critical support level the last several days, has held, and we moved higher off of it. So next thing to look for is to see if we've created a blow-off top, or whether we have continuing momentum behind this move this morning to go challenge the 1800 level. So next, looking at market breadth, we see that Dow transports still have a wide margin over the industrials. They did show a little more relative weakness over the last few days, but still everything's in sync with the transports having a significantly stronger year thus far than industrials. So let's look at our sectors. So with the move higher yesterday, we're seeing kind of a mixed picture in the sectors. Retail, which has been leading for quite some time, turned a bit lower. Probably one of the stronger ones was XLI, the industrials. Financials, relatively flat the last several days. XLP, consumer staples, been moving a bit higher. So kind of a mixed picture in the sectors, which we've been in consolidation, so that's not unexpected. Okay, so looking at our advanced declines in the middle chart and up-down volume on the lower chart, both on a 10-day average basis. NYSE in blue and the NASDAQ in red. They both had peaked on October 22nd. See, price has continued higher from there, but the internals in terms of these two measurements have been moving lower. In up-down volume, NYSE did peak above the break-even point of 50%, which is what this yellow line represents. So that's the break-even point of equal up volume versus down volume, or equal advancers versus decliners. So we're still a shade below the break-even point on advanced declines on a 10-day average basis. So, if the market continues higher, we'll want to also see a bottom be put in here, and for overall market breadth to start moving higher. If these just stabilize with this last market push and over the next several sessions continue a bit lower, that's further indication that the broader market isn't in agreement with price and that the price leadership is getting thinner. So with that, Doug, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thanks, Howard. So again, just to recap, we're trading just outside of yesterday's range. We've got another 10 minutes or so to go. We're going to probably open either just inside of yesterday's range or just outside of yesterday's range. If we're outside of yesterday's range, look for a test of the range high, possibly a push down. We've got a CHVN, or HVN I should say, at 1768.75, and then that key level at 1768, 1767.75. If we break through there, then I'd be looking for a move down to test the value area and the range high, and chop around in this with a rotation down towards the value area low and the overnight low, and test of the lower range and that naked VPOC and back towards that 1758.50. But if we find initiative buyers and we defend the range, even if we come down and bounce off of the 68 or the 66.50 and break back outside of the prior day range, look for them to go take out the overnight high and the all-time high with a push as a possible move up to that measured move at 1780 and average true range target above there. But my main hypothesis is to first try to make another move up, then come down into the prior body of the range from yesterday and chop around and get stuck in the upper wick up here with a move down to 64.50 to take out the naked VPOC and possibly test the other side at 62.25. But below that, look for a test of the 58.59 area. So that will complete our morning session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we will catch you on the flip side.